Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now. This is the newspaper show and I'm Hina Gambhir. So we are back with the newspapers and to tell you what's there on the front page, especially for those who might be missing their newspapers because Lockdown 4.0 is still there and there are certain restrictions still across the country. So this is how the first page looks like today as far as the Times of India is concerned. The biggest news that Times of India today is leading with is how was the second day of national lockdown phase 4 in Delhi. First day, slow show. Delhi shops reopened and buses ran, but very few people turned up. So there was a lot of traffic on the roads that was witnessed yesterday, but very few people actually came to various shops in parts of Delhi. And in biggest one-day spike for Delhi, 500 people tested positive. That's another news that's being reported on the first page only. Also, there has been a change in the rules by Health Ministry. The Health Ministry has issued rules for workplaces saying that there's no need to close the entire office building and stall work in other areas if there are 1 or 2 cases. No need to shut entire building for 1 or 2 cases. This is what the Health Ministry has now said. Low turnout despite OK for offices full capacity. Despite relaxations granted by Delhi government allowing private and public offices to function at full strength, most organizations on Tuesday kept their staff at a minimum and worked below the 33% workforce recommended earlier. Apart from this, another important news is from the Indian Railways, which will be running 200 non-AC trains daily from 1st of June. MHA has said that state nod is not needed for Shramik specials. That's another important news reported by Deepak Dash and Bharti Jain. Then something from Jammu and Kashmir. Top Hizbul man, son of leading separatist, has been killed in Srinagar operation. Salim Pandit has reported. Top Hizbul Mujahideen commander Junaid Sehrai, son of a leading Kashmiri separatist, was among 2 terrorists killed in an encounter in Srinagar's downtown area on Tuesday. Then Amphan, the super cyclone that's going to make the landfall today. There is an update on that as well. Amphan set to hit Bengal today, weekend, but still packing a deadly punch. Cyclone Amphan will make landfall close to Sundarbans between Digha and Hatia Islands as an extremely severe cyclonic storm. The wind speed is going to be quite high. Times of India also reports that Amphan is the first, most intense and the first super cyclone since the 1999 Odisha cyclone that we saw earlier. Then there is an update as far as the issue of migrants are concerned. Migrants to be tracked, focus on keeping the toll low. That's another story. 13 returning migrants killed in 3 different accidents that happened in 24 hours. And the tiff over buses that's going on between UP government and Congress's Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. That's another story that has been reported on the front page. UP Cong chief has been arrested. The tiff between UP government and Congress over 1,000 buses offered by the latter to ferry migrant workers to their homes took an unexpected turn when the regional transport officer at Lucknow filed an FIR against UP Congress chief Ajay Kumar Lallu and party general secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's personal secretary Sandeep Singh. And apart from this, vocal for local, firms quizzed by government-run stores. That's another story. Taking Prime Minister Modi's vocal for local as a call to action, government-run stores such as Canteen Stores Department and Central Police Canteen have asked their suppliers who manufacture fast-moving consumer goods, durables, luggage and other lifestyle products to give details of their manufacturing location and place of origin as far as the raw materials are concerned. Talking about India's COVID count, 5,200 plus COVID cases in one day, 146 deaths. That was the case on day 57 of the national lockdown. Then Sonia Gandhi will be holding a meeting with the opposition leaders on 22nd of May to discuss the plight of migrants and the centre's handling of this corona crisis. Government has restricted dental services. Another important story on the front page. The centre has issued an advisory restricting dental services to only emergency and urgent procedures. However, dental clinics will remain closed in containment areas. Then the Jewar Airport near Noida has got a security clearance. Zurich AG, the concessionaire selected for the proposed Jewar International Airport in Greater Noida, has received the all-important security clearance from the Union Home Ministry. So that's another story that has been reported here. Apart from this, the update is on how Noida has allowed domestic staff, says RWAs can regulate but not stop their entry. A lot of people, in fact, are having some problems because domestic help is not being allowed still by various RWAs. So there's a story on that one. Now, another update from the Times of India's page number 4. Mercury set to cross 43 degrees Celsius, but rain is likely on Friday. The temperature these days has been around 42 to 43 degrees Celsius, and it is quite hot in Delhi and NCR, but some rain can be expected on Friday. That's what Times of India is reporting. And very interesting news here as well. As I mentioned earlier, markets open in Delhi, but owners find odd stuff. So this is how various markets in Delhi looked like yesterday. Khan Market shops have started opening, but very few people here. Sarojini Nagar also life is coming back, but very few customers can be seen. Karol Bagh, Rajouri Garden, and there you can see in Connaught Place as well. The people have not been really coming out, but shops have started opening already in parts of Delhi and NCR. And before we move on, here are a few interesting articles as well that you can get. We'll get you those details in just a bit. Talking about the Navbharat Times now. यहाँ पर जो पहली बड़ी खबर है वो लॉकडाउन के बारे में है कि किस तरह से दिल्ली में जो है चीज़ें अलग नज़र आई। सड़कों पर भीड़, बाज़ारों में नहीं। बस, ऑटो, निजी गाड़ियों से जाम लगा। कई मार्केट खुले पर रौनक नहीं दिखी। जो तस्वीरें अभी हमने आपको दिखाई, किस तरह से सड़कों पे बहुत ज़्यादा भीड़ नज़र आई। दुकानें भी खुलनी शुरू हो गई हैं, लेकिन लोग अभी उन दुकानों में आना शुरू नहीं हुए हैं। गाज़ियाबाद खुला पर बाकी NCR में पास ज़रूरी है। गुड़गांव, फरीदाबाद में फैक्ट्रियां चलेंगी। और उसी के साथ ही एक अपडेट है अम्पन तूफान को लेकर भी। तूफान का दिखने लगा उफान। महातूफान अम्पन बुधवार दोपहर को पश्चिम बंगाल के तटीय इलाकों से टकराएगा। फिलहाल इसके असर से बंगाल और उड़ीसा के तटीय इलाकों में आंधी और बारिश शुरू हो गई है। दोनों राज्यों के 14 लाख लोगों को हटा दिया गया है। और इसी के साथ ही ये भी लिखा है कि मरीज मिलने पर पूरा दफ्तर सील हो, ऐसा ज़रूरी नहीं। ट्रंप की WHO को धमकी, 30 दिन में सुधरो, ये कहा है US प्रेसिडेंट डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने। और नवभारत टाइम्स ने फ्रंट पेज पर इसको रिपोर्ट किया है। मूविंग ऑन नाउ टू द इकोनॉमिक टाइम्स, द पिंक पेपर, टू गेट यू द लेटेस्ट फ्रॉम द वर्ल्ड ऑफ बिजनेस एंड इकोनॉमी. एंड the front page today has got an interview that the Economic Times had with Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman after the centre announced economic stimulus worth a little over 20 lakh crore rupees and lessons of 2008-13 guided stimulus. This is what Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has told Deepshika Sikarwar and Vinay Pandey. Sitharaman says package can't be called supply side measures as they would help create demand too. Bid to help migrants hindered by inadequate data. This is what she has said. And every tax related decision has a bearing on centre's revenue and affects states too. Yes, I have to attend to people who have lost jobs and are faced with lower wages and profits. So she has answered all the issues, concerns that emerged after she announced various packages for various industries. But some felt that perhaps it did not address the immediate issue of helping these specific sectors. And she has responded to all of those queries in this interview that you can find on page number 6. Then another story that is there on the front page is about the NBFCs. Government working on NBFC package delivery in talks with RBI to ensure most needy NBFCs get to tap 30,000 crore package. This is what Saikat Das has reported. And RBI may have to ease provisioning norms. The 1-year freeze on filing IBC cases and default holiday for loans taken to deal with COVID-19 may force RBI to ease restructuring and provisioning norms. That's also another important story. And capital gains, India Inc. on a fundraising spree, bid to shore up capital after devastating impact of COVID-19 related disruptions. Companies are rushing to take advantage of low rates that are there right now. And Piramal is in talks to sell $300 million worth of loans, which is about 2,200 crore of loans advanced to 3 renewable energy companies to Brookfield Asset Management. This is what Sachin Dave and Saloni Shukla have reported. Global Global PEs eye stake in Edelweiss Arm. Another story that has been reported here. Radio industry is seeking a 300 crore package. Another important news on the front page only. There is an interview with Rajiv Bajaj, Managing Director Bajaj Auto, who says need mood elevators to bring consumers back after a long lull. Because we just showed you some pictures as well as to how even though shops have started opening, there are very few people who have come out to shop, and the economic activity is starting, but the consumers clearly are not there as of now. And lastly, before we move across to the city edition, good news amid COVID gloom. Headlines on India reaching 1 lakh plus COVID cases are hiding a good news, and that is the recovery rate, which has risen to 38.7% from 25% that was seen in the early part of May. So that's another story that you can find here. Let's now talk about the city-specific news that we have for you from different editions of Times of India, starting from the Delhi edition. We have with us my colleague Sharon joining us on the broadcast for more on this. Sharon, first day slow show. That's the big news about the national capital. Relaxations came. There was a lot of traffic on the road, but very few customers. And Delhi has seen the biggest one-day spike of 500 new cases.
Well, good morning, Hina. That is, of course, something to be concerned of, how in last 24 hours there has been 500 positive cases that are reported in the national capital. But the Delhi government maintains that the recovery rate is, of course, high. It is almost 45%. And because the testing has increased, that is why these numbers are rising. But like you pointed out, yes, there are a number of relaxation that has been put forth. But yesterday, it was a very slow day for the national capital, especially when we talk about the public transport, like the buses, DTC buses, that the auto drivers, all of them have been saying that very few passengers boarded their respective vehicles. And in areas like the buses which had terminal stop near Anand Vihar or the UP border saw more passengers, but overall, if you talk about national capital, very few people boarded such public transport. And the markets have also, we have seen how the major markets like Connaught Place, Khan Market, Sarojini Nagar opened yesterday, but all wore a deserted look. Now, majorly this is because a number of the market association have still not decided whether to open or not, like the Sadar Bazaar, Chandni Chowk, Paharganj. They all have been saying if they open up, it is only going to see more huge crowd, and that is why they are taking their time whether to open or not. Some places like Tilak Nagar, of course, saw few customers coming in, but they're also confused about the odd and even plan, and that could actually affect their business, is what some of the traders have been saying. So clearly, yesterday was a slow day. People are not really coming out, because even with the private offices that are being open, they have suggested their employees to in fact work from home itself. So we are not seeing much customers or crowd that are coming out. But maybe in coming days, we'll see that things are coming back to normal in the national capital.
All right, Sharon, appreciate you joining us with all of those details. We're now moving on to the Kolkata edition of the Times of India. And the big story that has been reported on the front page is about Super Cyclone Amphan. Beast from Bay bears down on Bengal at 185 kilometers per hour. 3 lakh shifted from 4 districts. My colleague Tamal Saha joining us on the broadcast for more on this. Tamal, good morning. Cyclone Amphan set to make landfall this afternoon. What's the current update?
Well, Hina, very good morning, but concern is how the day would pan out. We do not really know. The landfall is expected to happen somewhere in South 24 Parganas. The reason why South 24 Parganas has been put on high alert, and just not South 24 Parganas, you have other districts like North 24 Parganas, Kolkata, Howrah, Hooghly, East Midnapur, West Midnapur have all been put on high alert. The wind speed could be around 155 to 170 kilometers per hour, could even gust up to 180 kilometers per hour when the super cyclone, or rather extremely severe cyclone Amphan, makes a landfall somewhere near Sundarbans. It is expected to cross Digha in East Midnapur and then finally move towards Bangladesh, Hatia Islands. But before it does so, it is expected to make a landfall in Sundarbans area. As you rightly mentioned, over 3 lakh people have been evacuated. But the concern is, at a time when the entire country is grappling with the COVID crisis, here at this point in time, this cyclone has only raised further concerns, as even though people have been taken to safe shelters, what happens to social distancing? The Chief Minister herself is on on record empathizing with the concern of the people and has advised people as much as they should stay at home, as much as they should stay at the shelter homes, but no one should forget the social distancing norms because COVID is still not a history.
Yes, because this has come at a time when the country is also battling coronavirus pandemic and hence evacuation is getting a little difficult. Thank you, Tamal, for the moment for joining us with all of those details. We are now moving on to the Bengaluru edition of the Times of India, and on the front page again it has been reported about how the day really was. A second day of national lockdown, fourth phase. Watchful Bengaluru back in business, but the buzz is missing. Deepak Bopanna, my colleague, joining us on the broadcast for more on this. Deepak, good morning. So the situation is similar to Delhi. Here in Delhi also, the shops reopened, but hardly any customers there.
Yes, Hina, good morning. And of course, the first day of excessive, relaxations that came in from the Karnataka government didn't see too many takers. We saw public transport back, but not too many people on the buses. We saw shops open, not too many customers, but it was good to see most of the establishments which have been just waiting to come back, open their shutters so that, business could resume. So some income could come into the family. It was smiles on their faces, but of course we'll really have to wait and watch whether it was just because it was the first day that people didn't really step out. We'll have to see as the week progresses whether the number of people on the buses and taking autos or taxis, whether all of this will increase. But of course, there has to be, a sigh of caution among all of them because the number of cases in Karnataka is only on the rise. So as many people staying indoors is good for the city as well.
All right, Deepak, appreciate you joining us with all of those details. We're now moving on to the Mumbai edition of the Times of India. The front page says curbs remain in big Maharashtra cities, but Pawar says time to move on, seeks plan for industry and bringing migrants back. Let's go across to my colleague Arunil joining us on the broadcast for more on this. Arunil, good morning. Now, perhaps it seems that, even Maharashtra wants to tell the people that we need to live with this virus.
Well, that is what the health minister of Maharashtra said that last night during his social media address. He said that we will have to learn to live with this virus now, and immunity boosting for every individual will be extremely important. With respect to the economic activity is concerned, Hina, Maharashtra is certainly the epicenter of this pandemic, but at least in green zones, the Maharashtra government has opened some industrial activity. This is also to mainly save more migrant workers from leaving the state of Maharashtra to their hometowns. At least more than 5 lakh migrant workers have left the state of Maharashtra till now, which is going to have an impact and repercussions on the industrial activity as well as the other economic activities in the state of Maharashtra. But we also need to remember that the number of cases rising in the city of Mumbai particularly have been extremely high. Yesterday also 1,411 cases were recorded, 43 deaths were recorded in the city of Mumbai, and now the total number of cases in the city of Mumbai is 23,000, more than 23,500. So that's a relatively high number, and the BMC is predicting the number to go much higher as well. So yes, efforts have been made at least in the red zone areas of Mumbai and Pune to contain the virus, whereas in the green zone areas, some kind of an economic activity is been allowed. But the government is also wanting to take care that the virus from the red zone areas or the orange zone areas.
Thank you, Arunil, for the moment for joining us with all of those details. We're now quickly moving on to the Chennai edition of the Times of India, and Shabir, my colleague, is now joining us on the broadcast for more on this. Shabir, good morning. The front page reports that 23 of 178 on Dubai flight to city test positive, 688 new cases in Tamil Nadu. Again, now after that super spreader market, we are seeing that Indians who are being repatriated back to India are also becoming a cause of concern for Tamil Nadu.
Well, that's right, Hina. That is the reason why Tamil Nadu government in the first place did not want the central government to operate regular air services or passenger services, train passenger services. As far as Tamil Nadu government is concerned, they are extremely cautious about people who are entering Tamil Nadu, both from within the country and abroad. More and more cases are being reported, particularly from people who are returning from abroad. They have all been kept under government facility for quarantine, and there are some peculiar cases that are being reported from people who are returning from abroad. Initial tests show negative results, and after 7 days, some of them have tested positive, and that has caused huge amount of concern because in some cases, the government is suggesting that people should opt for home quarantine. So this is going to be a huge cause of concern. Another challenge that the Tamil Nadu government is facing at this point in time is the influx of people stranded in other parts of the country, particularly Maharashtra. On a daily basis, at least 50 cases of people who are returning from Maharashtra are tested positive. So that is also becoming one of the clusters.
All right. Thank you very much, Shabir, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. We are now moving on, and let's get our viewers the latest from around the world. From Times Global, Trump threatens to pull out of WHO, freeze US government funding permanently, tells UN agency to show it can work independently. China accuses US, in fact, of shifting blame. That's the big story on this page. China experts claim new drug has potential to treat COVID-19 patients. And lastly, Russia cases edge towards 3 lakh in Russia as well. The cases are rising sharply. In fact, Brazil also is seeing a bit of a concern with over 2,57,000 cases with 16,941 deaths. Number 3 worst affected country because of COVID-19. Then on this edit page, there is an article by Rahul Shivshankar, editor-in-chief, Times Now. Self-reliance, not self-isolation. Coining of Atmanirbhar Bharat has started a new conversation on globalization. Many people have spoken about the meaning of this Atmanirbhar Bharat and what the government really wants to say. So perhaps this is something you might want to read this Wednesday. Moving on now to the world of sports. Karishma, my colleague, is joining us on the broadcast for more on this. Karishma, good morning. Times Sport is reporting that no SOPs for training facilities yet. This is what national badminton coach P. Gopichand has said.
Well, it's absolutely, Hina. While the MHA may have announced that sports stadiums and complexes can be open, the sports ministry and the standard operating procedures that were formulated by a high-powered committee of the Sports Authority of India have still not come into implementation, and that is why, training hasn't started. Although Kiran Rijiju, the sports minister, tweeted saying that it is good news, but there hasn't been really any finer plan in place at the moment. All the sports federations are waiting to hear from the sports ministry as to when the standard operating procedure can be implemented so that the basics of training camp can start, especially for the elite athletes, Olympic bound athletes, who can then get back to their proper intense heavy training. So in the coming days, before the lockdown 4 ends, the sports ministry is trying to implement the SOP so that from 1st June the training can start, the training camps, especially for Olympic bound athletes, can start, Hina.
All right. Thank you very much, Karishma, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. We are now moving on, and let's get our viewers the latest as far as the world of entertainment is concerned. Here's what they can find on the Delhi Times page of the Times of India. There is a poem, in fact, that Kangana Ranaut has written, and some details about that. Boni Kapoor's house help test positive for coronavirus. Others are absolutely safe. TikTok has suspended Faisal's account after video that seemed to glorify acid attack draws flag. That's another news. And also, corona effect masks made mandatory for cabbies and riders. So this is how things have now started looking after the new norms came in place. With this, it's a wrap. Thank you very much for staying with us here on the Newspaper Show.